How you doing? Is my camera shaking? Sorry. I gotta get a new thing. It doesn't shake. But anyway, hope you're doing well. What is today? Tuesday morning, March 5th. Got my coffee. I have a really simple one today. It's this. Just a few flowers. Kind of a simple watercolor. What I was really trying to do was to contrast a hazy, washed out watercolor, and then a layer on top of it, a more defined picture with flowers. So no big one today, just a short little picture, and I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you can use some of these things. I don't know. I think we're all teaching each other. So if you learn something from me, I learn something from you. I look at so many videos of other artists, and I've always, before there was such things as videos, I used to go and watch artists actually do their work. I would just learn a lot by watching. So you don't get a diploma by watching. Oh, I could go into this. I have my issues with the whole art diploma. But I guess somebody needs to see that you learn something from somebody officially. But you learn so much on your own, at least in this field. And anyway, don't get me started. Let me just show you how I did this one. It's easy. This is an easy one. Okay, how you doing? I hope you're doing good. All right, so I want to do one today that's a little bit less complex than what I've been doing lately. I think sometimes I get so trapped in wanting to do like a million different things in a picture that it interferes with the end result. So I'm going to do a simple one today. How you doing? I feel like I just woke up. Well, I feel like my voice sounds like I just woke up. What it is I think I have a cold. I think I'm getting the beginnings of a cold. But anyway, hope you're doing good. Let me get a soft brush. Here's a soft one, see? And let's just get some water on there. And we'll just make this. The idea today, I want to do something kind of hazy as a backdrop, and then I want to do some like focal flowers in the foreground. Something simple. So I don't have any real plan. This is going to be one of those unplanned, well, sort of a little bit of a plan. All right, so let's just make this very gray, not necessarily rich colors in the background, but just kind of a gray wash. And we'll call that the sky. We'll call it the sky, you see. So how you doing anyway? What's today? Today is March 5th, 2024. By the way, this Saturday is daylight saving time. The beginning of it anyway. Where we set the clocks ahead, meaning we lose an hour on Saturday night. I always have to think carefully how you do that. I did radio for a long time, and so we always have to talk about this stupid subject. And anyway, I know the history of it. I know the railroads and all that. Benjamin Franklin. What else do I remember that with that? It goes way back. Benjamin Franklin didn't start it, and I know that. You don't have to correct me. What he did. Gosh, I hate to even get into the subject, but what Benjamin Franklin did was he suggested. He was in Paris, and he suggested that people in Paris. I don't know why he was picking on Paris, but people in Paris could save money by changing their sleep hours, not by changing the clocks. That was his thing. So anyway, he's erroneously credited with the daylight savings idea, but it wasn't him. And it wasn't even the railroads. It was the railroads were responsible for the time zones. Yes, and it is daylight saving time. No S at the end of it. Daylight saving time. That's a grammatical thing. Has nothing to do with the real thing. A lot of people don't like it. I think some states don't even do it. I can't remember which states. Is Arizona one of them? Maybe Indiana? Anyway. So as you can see, I'm just doing a wash here. I'm adding a little bit of green to kind of give the illusion that maybe there's some grass here. And it's out of focus. I'm going to add some yellow. And maybe I'll add some, do something on that horizon, make it a little bit more interesting. Put some dark, a little bit dark here in the front, just to make it interesting. You could do a whole watercolor, just like this, a whole watercolor painting, just like this, and then let your mind or your audience's mind, whatever, come up and make things up in their mind. What is that? What is that? So I'm just going to add some stuff back here that may be distant trees, maybe bushes, could be mountains, I guess, or it could be just dark clouds on the horizon. Yes, we set the clocks ahead. You're supposed to do it at 2 o'clock, but everybody does it, usually the evening or the morning. So if you're supposed to be someplace at 8 o'clock in the morning and you forgot to set your clock ahead, you're going to get there late because it'll be 9 o'clock or something like that. I always have to think about it. Time is an interesting thing anyway. You ever see those videos of time travelers? Some of them are so weird. I don't know what to believe. I always say, I am a time traveler. I'm constantly traveling into the future. So are you. Or I'll say it the other way, I'm from the past. Get it? I'm an old guy, so I'm from the past. I can remember the past. Whenever people talk about the past, that is a collective thing where we all know what we're talking about, where we all can relate. It's usually about toys or TV shows or commercials or cars. A lot of people talk about the cars from the past, right? Or customs, right? Things you used to do. Remember when we used to always blah, 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 blah. I've had this conversation with Robin. And she grew up in Wisconsin, I grew up in New York. So our pasts, the customs from the past are not the same. Even though we're in the same country and we grew up in the same exact time. We're like a few months apart in age. Other than that, we grew up in the same time. But she... When guests, visitors, when she had company, people came over to the house, right? She would just, I don't know what she did, to be honest. I guess she just said hi. I don't know if she gave hugs or kisses or not, but where I grew up in New York, we always gave a kiss to the adult females, to my aunt, to my grandmother. We always gave a little kiss on the cheek. And Robin said they didn't do that where she grew up. So it's weird, huh? And I was back in New York a couple of years ago, and I was with a cousin, and I asked her, I wanted her to verify for me what I was telling Robin, and she said, I don't remember that. And I'm thinking, wow, really? All right, let me dry this off now. I'm going to use this dryer here, dry it off. Shouldn't take too long. careful. This is a very hot dryer. I think it already started to scorch the paper, but that's okay. We'll just consider that coloring. We'll consider that personality. Personality. All right, now let's do something here. Let's do something colorful and close. So first I'm going to use this cool little brush that came with this kit. It came with this one. This came with it. I think I might have showed you this yesterday, but let me show it to you again. So it comes like this. Cool little thing, right? It almost looks like you could use it as a stylus. I don't know. You take it apart, and then you do this. You have a handle, and you can use it as a brush. So that's what I'm going to do. And it's dry now, so I can put... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that first. I'm going to do the color first. I think that'll be better. Because I don't want to put lines where I don't want them. So I'm going to get something very colorful. Very colorful. Yeah, just really colorful. Let's just do a colorful picture here. This is kind of neat. Let me make that bigger. Make it bigger so they spread out some more. That's pretty cool. Do another one over here. And maybe one more. Make it like that. That's pretty cool. Alright, now let's take some... Oh, I think that's purple, right? Sometimes you can't tell what color it is. I'll put it in the middle. Yeah, I need it darker than that. What is this one? Yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Yeah, this is going to be a quick one, I think. Make these little flowers here. Oops. I guess I can do that. It doesn't matter too much. I'll get down here some dark. And then I'll get the light. A little bit lighter than that. Just a little bit. That's pretty good. Let me get some. Clean that brush a little bit and changing my mind about that. Yeah, there we go. That works. Now let's see if I can get that deep yellow. Which yellow do you think will be better? Got two different yellows over here. Whichever one is slightly darker. Yeah, that's working. That's giving that yellow look to it, right? Let's make the petals look like the yellow on the end. Just keep doing this a little bit. Poking at it. Just keep poking at it. This is a very watercolor looking picture. I like this. This is coming out nice. And it's very quick too. Yeah, like I say, some of the paintings I've done lately, I'm just going too nuts with them. Well, you know what it is? I look at like reference photos and say, oh, that'd be a nice painting. And it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes what you think is going to look like a good painting isn't a good painting. Right? You have that happen to you too, right? So, well, this is coming out pretty good. I kind of like this. Just a little hint of some flowers there. Right now they look like UFOs or something flying in the air. I'm going to take one of these little brushes, this one. Going to darken it up a little bit on the edge there. Let me see. Take this color here. Just a little bit darker right there. That looks good. A couple of different dark lines here. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now, let's put some leaves in there. Some green. Is this green? Yeah, that's green. Alright, let's get a bunch of leaves in here. I don't have any real rhyme or reason here. Just gonna... just put a bunch of leaves here. This brush works perfectly for these long leaf looking things. Yeah, there's no real order. They have nature doesn't work that way. The leaves are just everywhere. So you do the best you can to just make a pretty picture. That's all. Now some of these leaves probably have a little shadow underneath them. Let's see if I can create that effect. Oh, you know what? I'll just use this darker one and create some alternate leaves. Some of them should go behind this. They shouldn't all be next to it. And the brush is half wet, half dry, depending if I dip it in the water or not. And that's bluish green that I'm using right there. I didn't realize that was blue-green right there. That's okay. It's working. Yeah, springtime is happening right now, right outside the door. I gotta fill my hummingbird feeders. Robin has some hummingbird plants, and those are the real things that attract the hummingbirds, but I do have 4, I think, hummingbird feeders. And they do come around too. They come around like should be any day now. It's March and it's in Florida, so they start to show up. All right, now let's go ahead and take some of this dark from this palette because this is really dark. Let's go ahead and grab a couple of them. Just kind of go from every which way. Make this one go through. You can see it behind it. This one. Whoops, ran out of paint. I want these to go way up. I want these little weeds to go all the way up. Line them up, line them all up. It's a James Taylor song. Line them up. All the musicians I enjoyed when I was younger are starting to get so old, and I heard Billy Joel the other day. He did a new song, and gosh, he sounded good. He really did. I was a big Billy Joel fan back in the day. Oh, I got a funny story to tell you. So one time I was at a local event, one of those Heritage Day things, where people are dressed in like in early clothing from the early America. And I was waiting. There was like a tram or something would take you down to the river near where I live, and so I was waiting on the bench to get on that tram, and so was a lady, and I assume her grandson, because she was a lot older than him. He was just a little boy, and she says to him, they're looking at one of the ladies in the old dresses, and he says to her, "That's how women dressed back in the day." And he said to her, "How did they dress back in the night?" I thought that was the funniest thing. So that's the whole story. There's no more to it. But isn't that funny? The little boy said he just didn't understand that expression back in the day. And he just wanted to know, well, how did they dress back in the night? I know I just told you the joke twice, but no, it's not a joke. It was a true story. It sounds like a joke. But that's exactly what I overheard. And it was one of those times where I wished I had my camera going with the recorder, But I did. Now I don't know if I like this picture or not. I don't know. I'm starting to question it. Maybe I should add something to it. Maybe not. Maybe I should add some more orange. Let me just add some more things. Just some more flowers. I like the look of the contrast here. So. Anyway, I think this is going to be a very short one. You know what? I think I know what I could do. I got a little trick up my sleeve ready for you. Let me add some darkness to the middle here. I think I should add some undefined little things, like little pods of, there should be something on these limbs, like, you know, I don't know, like bugs leave stuff, and it's not usually so clear cut like that. Yeah. Let's keep it a little bit dark here. The bottom should have been darker. Give it a little bit of weight at the bottom, I think. So that's what I'm doing here. Like I said in the beginning, I'm just winging this one. I don't really have a real reference photo this time. It looks all right. Yeah, that looks good. That looks like something you would really see, right? Little pods or something, like seed pods. Absolutely. That's helping out a lot. It's making it way more interesting. Yeah. Now the other thing I was going to do, and this is risky, I'm going to do that thing, you know, where you spritz it like that. Let's see if it works. Let's see if we like it. So I'm going to get the brush very wet and get some color on it. And I'm just going to spritz it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that didn't work too well, but I'm going to do it again. Those spritzes. Whoa, that was a big drop. It's sort of working. Not as well as I'd like it to work. I'll just keep doing it. It's working a little bit. I see. You see it? These little dots that are happening, a little spray that's on there. Kind of gives it an interesting look, I guess. Well, 27 minutes later, and we have a finished picture. It's not dry yet. Let me dry it. So I'll fold it up. Okay, that looks good enough. It is what it is what it is. There, my springtime daylight savings card. How about that? Alright, thanks for joining me today. I'll see you later.